Hey there, today is Tuesday, and it is the 19th of November. And this is a free reading for Leo Ascendant. Yes, we have a lot of Leo Ascendants that have put in their birth information for a free reading. So please have patience if you have not received your reading yet because, well, there's a ton of people that want their free reading. So you can comment and ask me how much longer. Typically, I tell people immediately once they contact us initially of the window because it is lengthy. It is not a computer-generated reading. It is a legit, I look at your stuff, I listen to what comes in, I validate it through what I see on the paper, and then I spend time looking down the road for you, making sure that within our free reading time, I can talk about things that are going to be relevant for you in your life and that you're going to need to know about, that I would want to know about. So it's a mixture of everything. It's things that are relevant, things that you're going to need to know, things that are wonderful things, and a lot of change is coming for all of us. So please be patient, everybody. People know change is coming. People sense it. And yeah, so I just wanted to make a mention to that. If you are new here, I am G. This is A and G Allastrology. Miss A is not here at this moment, but she will be back with the readings and with us shortly. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and also make a quick mention that commenting the birth info below will enable you to get one free high-quality reading from All Astrology. It is what each new subscriber is entitled to. And so just comment below and we'll start communicating. We'll figure everything out. We've got lots of people who don't even know their exact birth time. Like I said, we'll work something out. Just make sure you're tapping the bell because the only way I can communicate with you is via the YouTube comment bar. All right? It's the only way I can stay sane and keep track of all the free readings and the sequence that they came in and the timing and anything else. So do yourself a favor, tap that bell so that you are notified when your video is uploaded and if we need to communicate about how to fine-tooth a birth time for you. Because the more accurate that birth time is, the more accurate what I tell you is going to be. Otherwise, it's completely skewed and I wouldn't call it accurate at all. Okay, so this is a Leo Ascendant reading and it is, there's a birth date attached to this one and a birth time, because this person submitted their birth info, and we have July 27th, 1954. July 27th, 1954. Birth time, 4:50 a.m. July 27th, 1954, 4:50 a.m. You know who you are. You submitted your birth info. We keep everything. Our privacy is our top priority for people, so we do not disclose birth city or state unless we absolutely have to. And moving forward now with this, I want to first give you guys a heads up in general for everybody of the energy that we are experiencing right now. And it is an intense energy. It has to do with Mars. Mars is at 0 degrees in Scorpio. And I want to put like I don't know if I should call it an alert. In a way, I want to call it an energetic alert because the energetic weather, we have Mars at one end and we have Uranus at the other end. And so they're in this great opposition. Okay, Uranus down here, Mars down here. This energy in general, just so you know, this energy in general makes us feel like we feel angry. Let's just put it like that. We're easily irritated. We feel angered. And it typically is going to occur with people that you're close with, okay? Because Uranus is in Taurus, okay? And Taurus is about, well, it's love. It's Venus that rules it. So it's my significant relationships, okay? And it's over and about the things that I value, things that are important to me, right? Well, we don't want to really back down when it comes to things that are important to us. But it's challenged down here by Mars. So it's this opposition. And there is a tendency to want to, things can escalate very easily during this time. Uranus, remember, Uranus is all about surprise, and there are those great surprise with horns and balloons and shit. And then there are those surprise, which is like, oh shit, run. or I don't even have time to run, but holy crap, you know, I somehow got injured. Or we're in the middle of a conversation, we're both heated, no one's backing down, and it somehow escalates, right? So I'm actually going to go ahead and do separate videos specifically talking about that particular transit because there is a window of time involved in it. But for people who are Leo risings, you could listen to this reading and this will completely and totally apply to you because I'm going to address this. It's not the first thing I'm going to talk about though because this is a free reading and there are some other things I need to talk about for this person in their chart. And for today's date, November 19th, of course, Mars is at 0 degrees and Uranus is at 3 degrees, 3.5 degrees. So they will become tighter down the line and we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'll talk about what areas in your life that's actually going to happen. So you're going to want to make sure you listen. And just be aware. All of these things can be handled appropriately when we are aware, when we have the knowledge that, okay, when this occurs, well, shit, I expected that, right? This is the energetic weather. It's just like, you know, you hear it's going to rain and you go out without your umbrella and all of a sudden it rains and you're like, God damn it. Well, no, they told you it was going to rain, right? Why didn't you prepare? You should have had an umbrella, right? You should have moved the picnic inside, right? You should have planned for, you should have went to the museum instead. You know, you should have been kind of smart and just planned. You knew what the weather was going to be. And so that's what this is. This is nothing more than that. Think of astrology as that. It is a study of the energetic frequencies, the energetic cycles that get impressed upon us in our life. Okay? Enough preaching. Let's move on. So for you, I want to talk to you. This is a very trying time for you. I mean, extremely trying. It's not just about your health, your physical health and well-being and your work, because I see that's been under a big transformation for many years now. It started when Pluto was in your house of work, your house of your health and well-being. This was like, 10, 12 years ago that this began. And you're going to have 5 more years of this. I'm just being straightforward with you. Now, Pluto is a very transformative, deep thing that happens to us. It happens on such a deep level that it's not like the tornado that comes in and jacks things up in our life. It's deep. So it's slow. It's buried. It's below. And it's deep. And it's transformational for that reason, because it takes things out by the root. It's the rotor-rooter of the zodiac. It goes all the way down. And it gets to the root of something and it rips it out. And we grow something new. The whole idea is I have to get rid of this thing for this new thing to evolve and to become. And that's what's been going on by ways of your health and your work. So it's your routines, your day-to-day routines in your world. Now, Saturn joined up a little over 2 years ago, roughly 2 years ago. Okay, it joined the same area of your life, your work and your health. So when Saturn and Pluto are together, they're doing a number on you. They're doing a number on you. And so you're feeling it. Some other Leo's ascendants may not be like, they may not think, well, yeah, there's been a few things, but I didn't think anything more of it because it was just typical. I got a cold, I got the flu, nothing major. But if you have planets in this location of your chart, you're feeling it, and you're feeling it because you have planets there. You have your North Node there, and you have your Chiron there. And your North Node, it's all about this is what you must do. This is what you came to do. Interestingly enough, I don't want to get too much more deep into the astrological terms because this can be such a deep thing, and it's so easy to get lost. But what I do want to say is you're feeling it deeply because you've got other stuff there. And so for anybody else who's listening, if you're resonating deeply with what I'm saying between work and health and just major overhauls and changes and transitions and, sometimes just feeling like you're completely restricted, like your vitality's been restricted or your structures in your body have been restricted because you have planets there, that would mean, okay? Because every time a planet is somewhere, it adds the intensity of how you feel the energy. Now, with all this said and all this deep transformation and change you've been going through, it's not over. You're going to be facing more. Now, you're not alone in this, okay? And when I say you're not alone in this, I'm seeing you have this beautiful Neptune. And Neptune, when Neptune is involved, it somehow helps us to get through it. it's like a guardian angel, like this great guardian angel that wraps its arms, it wraps its wings around us, and it's just like, I am here for you. We're handling this. We're getting through this. I'm actually protecting you. Okay. There are things involved with the opposing side of your chart, which has to do with your inner emotional securities. Okay. Your inner emotional securities are very much attached to the feminine aspects of your well-being, the feminine aspects of your life. And what I am seeing is that because you're having such a challenge in the house of health and of work, your health is your main priority right now. Your health has become your job, and you need to make it your job if you haven't already done that, which means you need to treat your body holistically. Do what is best for your body, for the structure of your body. I am pleading with you to do this. I am pleading with you in such a way where I see things in the chart and I see the difficulties. I see the stress. I see the restrictions that have been placed on you. And I see that this is no small feat. There were things that came out of the background, meaning things that were hidden, that came to surface, that were a shock, that were a surprise, and happened fast, quick, and suddenly. You also did have a beneficial planet. You had Jupiter protecting you from things going from bad to really, really, really bad. So this is good. But I feel so inclined to tell you that you need to focus more on your health and making your health your priority. Having Saturn in the location of our house of health and having Pluto there. Pluto gives us power. Pluto makes us go forward in a way where we would feel we can just do things we wouldn't normally do. Basically, we test ourselves. We push ourselves to our absolute limits. And now that Saturn has joined up with Pluto, when you've tested yourself to your limits, Saturn says, okay, you tested yourself, and guess what? Here I am. You pushed yourself too hard because Saturn limits our vitality when it enters that house. So making your health your job is what I am seeing. Treating your body holistically is what I am seeing. That is vital for your inner emotional security. It might not seem like it. What I am seeing very clearly is there is a part about your physical structure that your inner emotional security is tied to. And this is difficult. This is difficult because the universe is asking you to tie your inner emotional security to something other than your physical appearance. To relish, to cherish, to honor you as an entire being. Not just about focus on one part of your body, but your entire being. Your body, who you are as an individual, your soul is here and it is present. And it is saying, can you accept you for who you are as a complete being? Even though there may be certain physical things that are not there, I want to know, can you accept yourself as a beautiful individual? Now, I realize I am seeing it. I realize this causes major stress in a significant one-on-one relationship. Understand, the major stress in the significant one-on-one relationship is never, not just for you, but for anybody I'm speaking to, is never more important than the significant one-on-one relationship you have with yourself. That is priority number one, and that is what you need to do. You need to take a look at what's going on, and you just need to say, enough is enough. My body has been through enough. I need to cherish it, to take care of it, to love it, to no longer let these outward things break it down anymore. Because there is this physical restriction, a physical limitation. Mars is very much present and part of this picture, and Mars does represent a knife. It represents cutting. So I feel so strongly to say no more. No more cutting. No more knives. If this is a surgery we're talking about, no more of that. Not unless it's something where the surgery is a required necessity for your life. But if this is an aesthetic thing, no more. I'm done. the body is telling you, we're done. We can't take any more of that. Okay? So I think this is important, and I hope that you're hearing clearly, because the body is just asking you to please embrace it as it is and to love me as I am. And when you do that, there is going to emerge this new sense of value, this new beautiful being that you couldn't have experienced the other way. Because now you're experiencing this new individual in essence, because you have a new perspective of your value with or without this other physical trait, this physical characteristic, this physical structure in your life. Okay? So I want you to just please hear what's being said, and I hope that you move forward with what is best for you as a physical being, as a spiritual being, as a mental being, as an emotional being, and understanding your pain body. We all have that. And this whole month of November is all about us learning to release these deep, old wounds. And a lot of them, especially for females, feminine energy is attached to our feminine heritage and lineage. And it's about leaving a lot of that behind. It's no more needed to move forward into our future. That we are so much more than just our feminine side and the feminine traits, qualities, and characteristics. Not that they are to be denied. Quite the opposite. They're to be embraced and to say, there are so many more things about me that are feminine. There are so many other things that represent me and my feminine energies other than, my looks and my appearances. And so we all are dealing with this right now in our own different ways. And so I just want to say, you have help, you have assistance, and it's here for all of us, especially around the 23rd, this weekend coming up. So let's move on. I think you get the gist of the message, but I just felt it was a bearing down on me. It was so strong, like I was going to lose my mind if I didn't say exactly that. Now, let us talk about the beautiful things that are coming this weekend, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. We have some really wonderful energies. And after that, then I'll talk about the Mars and the Uranus thing that I talked about at the beginning, the extreme opposition we're all going to be facing. So the beautiful energies that are coming, if you are a Leo rising, you're going to experience these beautiful energies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're experiencing in the house of romance. Okay, in the house of significant, it's the house of flirting, of the house of having a good time, and risk-taking, having fun. Just think about how cats like to play a lot. Like that's the 5th house, right? You see cats, like we've got a cat here, Tappy. I don't know where she's at right now, but she could play with anything. She can play with the corner of a wall. She can play with her tail. And boy, I've seen her on the floor just rolling around playing with her tail. The 5th house is all about how I have a good time. The 5th house is also athleticism and sports. And for you particular in your chart, you have Mars in this house, which means your physical abilities are big time. Big time. You have major physical abilities. But don't let this confuse you in terms of this is what enabled you to I don't want to say abuse your body, but to ask more of your body than would normally be asked of it because of the fact you have Mars there. And Mars, I was just saying this yesterday to somebody, Mars makes us do stuff we wouldn't normally do because it's as though we've got someone standing behind us who's pushing us and saying, you can do this, do it. Go ahead, do it, you can do it. It's like it almost dares us, but it says, hey, but we've got what it takes. And that's a good thing at times, and it's a good thing in moderation. So keep that in mind, moderation. So like I said before, you've got a lot of things in your chart where you have strength. Balance is a big factor in all of our lives. And so understand balance here, okay? Understand balance. But this is a great time to have fun. And it's a great time I was telling Leos also, it's a great time to maybe if you pay attention to numbers, like if I was a Leo rising, this is the one time in my life, I might actually play the lottery because I'm not a lottery person. I just don't do that kind of thing. That's not me. But if there was any time I would do it, I would probably be inclined to do it at this time. And I would love to hear back if you win something. I also want to mention that there are downloads coming. Some people refer these, they call them neutrinos because it's light codes coming down and it's information we're getting. It's the galactic source. It's information from the Father coming through and we're literally getting downloads, fresh updates. is how I'm looking at it. Like, you're on your computer, you're on your phone, you need to update it. The old stuff doesn't work anymore. We're getting new information in. And it relays over time. It's not bam on that day, but I would encourage people, and I have been encouraging people, do something creative. And guess what? This is the house it's happening in, your house of creativity, Leo. So please be in a creative place that weekend. Do something creative. Do something that involves you doing it by yourself. Knitting, crocheting, painting, drawing, I don't know, music, theater. Do something that would kind of, excuse me, I think I just, anyway. So do something that you can be creatively involved so that you're using the other side of the brain, because when the information comes through, that's the side that's going to get it. That's the side that's going to get the imagery. That's the side that's going to hear it. That's the side that's going to sense it and smell it and feel it and know it. And it's going to resonate with that side. So please do yourself a favor and be in a creative space, where it's just you, and you're connecting, and you're utilizing that side of the brain, which is making you extremely receptive for what's coming through for you. Now, let's move along here. From the 21st to the 28th, okay? This is all for November right now. From the 21st to the 28th, we are looking at an opposition of Mars and Uranus. For you, Leo rising, okay? This is occurring in the home and the work. So be aware of that. If there are confrontations either at home or at work, realize that when you have Mars and Uranus opposing each other, there's this irritation and almost an anger. And specifically, I want to mention also for you specifically, how many times can I say specifically, for this person's chart, July 27th, 1954, 4:50 a.m. Specifically for you, there's great tension and irritability right now, because the Mars opposition with the Mars opposition with Uranus, you also have Saturn here in your natal chart, okay, which means extremely irritable. You're going to be very irritated. And not just you, but other people in your life can be very irritated. All energy, when it expresses, it means either I'm the one being irritated or someone's approaching me that's irritated, because the energy is just there. It just is. It just is. So the best thing to do is wait it out. To know there's this strong inclination to lash out at those you love, to those that are close to you. And it's a possibility those that are close to you may feel that energy the same way, and they will express it the same way. It's a lashing out. It's going to be, just know this in advance. It's like I said, there's a storm coming, prepare for it. And what does that mean? Don't have an attitude. Just understand we're both feeling this. We're both experiencing this, because it is in your significant one-on-one relationships in your home, okay? It could also, any significant one-on-one relationships, because it's also people that you value on the other end. And it's going to be work, people that you work with, okay? I know this doesn't sound like the most optimistic reading, and I apologize, but you are going through tough times. Know that you have Neptune there who is giving streams of beauty and idealism and protection. And Neptune is very strong. It out-trumps just about everybody, especially at this time. It's out. The only person Neptune doesn't out, I can't use that word. It outweighs everybody in the chart except Pluto. And so for right now, use Neptune's divine guidance and beauty and abundance and trying where it will add an ease, and just try to put your focus there. So from the 21st to the 27th, 21st to the 28th, because I have a couple degree orb, I just want you to be careful, not lash out at anybody, and to understand if somebody lashes out at you, try your hardest to not take it personally, and understand it's how they're expressing that energy. Another thing to keep in mind about this time and this energy is because it's so intense, and because we have this desire and this drive to do something, you just kind of feel like you feel antsy, and so if you're not doing this physical expression of it, it comes out this way. So the recommendation is to be physical at this time. That's in moderation for you and your health at this time, and if that means you're Just do something with your hands. Be busy. Focus on projects in some way, shape, or form. That's important. That will help that energy express. That'll help it express. And that's a great recommendation for everybody. Anytime we feel that way, doing something physical, whatever physical means for you within your borders and boundaries, right, of staying healthy and looking out for your body, whatever that means for you, do it. That will help that energy to release. It has to release somehow because keeping it welled up inside doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does us more harm. We do have to let it express some way, okay? So if you can be, adult-like and have a good debate with somebody, a good verbal debate without being hurtful, that's great. That takes a lot of strength and self-restraint and maturity. So again, this is my recommendation because of what I'm seeing in the energy that's here. Now, if I move down the line for you, which is what I want to do, I kind of want to go ahead and look at December. This is important for you, okay? December is coming. And in December 26th, we have a new energy that's laid down. And this new energy that's laid down is on your house of health. It's in your 6th house. It's your house of work and health. Remember I said at the beginning of the reading, it looks as though your health is your work right now. And it is. Now, the beauty of this energy that's coming on December 26th is it is not specifically an energy for that day. It's literally an eclipse that happens. And it happens at 4 degrees, okay? 4 degrees Capricorn. And this is exactly on top of the cusp of your 6th house. So for all for all Leos out there, this eclipse happens in your house of your health, Leo ascendants. Now, the big deal for you is it's right on the cusp line of that 6th house, okay? You also have planets in that 6th house. So what that means is this eclipse is a solar eclipse. It is a south node solar eclipse. What does that mean? It means we have to let something go. We have to release something. We just have to say, okay, I have to let you go. Understand this is a physical, tangible thing because it's in Capricorn, and it's got to do with our health. So in regards to your body, there's something physical. You're saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to let this go. Because the solar eclipse that occurs is bringing something new. But this new thing is 100% dependent on your ability to let something go. Something physical in your structure, you have to just say, okay, I don't need that anymore. I know I think I do because of who I am, but that's not what this eclipse is saying. This eclipse is saying, I'm bringing something new in for you, but I need you to just let this other thing go, okay? I need you to let it go, and there will be new windows that will open, new doors that will not only you will have the key for, but the key will work, the doors will open, and you'll have, it's a new story is going to be written as far as your health and well-being and your work, okay? So this is positive. This is optimistic. Understand it's not, I said December 26th because that's when this energy occurs. That's when, think of an eclipse as a button is put in. A button is put in at this spot on your chart. And so for the next 5 years, this button stays active. And every time a planet comes over, it touches that button and the button gets pressed. And so it activates a new thing in your life. So this is about a 5-year period. Okay, so this is down the line. This is a new beginning for health, a new beginning for work. All right. Now, at the same time, you do have some other things going on. And so I realize this, I see the immensity of this. I see how overwhelming this is. And I understand. And all I can do is to keep sharing with you what I see for you and the knowledge and ask you to please utilize the weekend of November 23rd and 24th to understand the divine, that source is coming through to give guidance for you. Okay? I want you to just, again, you love you. You make you a priority. Your body and all the levels and degrees of your being. Your mental, emotional, your spiritual, your physical. You need to function as one. Your heart and your head need to be connected. And I'm not saying they're not, but I want them to be connected in terms of your body and understanding that the physical body is a small percentage of who we are. Even though I know we have to operate in this physical world, I get it. But we have to honor it. We have to take care of it because of that fact. And we have to do it in a holistic way. And sometimes that means we really have to change our way of thinking about things, okay? And so You're going to be going, you are going through that. Your belief systems, I want you to, I can see it because this is all, it's squaring your house of your beliefs, which means when something challenges the house of beliefs, it means we're changing our beliefs. Okay? And so the beliefs that you had were, the best way to put it is, I don't want to say, the belief system are based on very things that worked a really long, the things that applied a long time ago. Okay? And you are adventurous. I see that in your beliefs. You're willing to strike out and to start new beliefs. You're okay with that if you look at them as an adventure and as an experiment. That is going to be your best way to kind of look at something and say, I'm going to treat this like an experiment and I'm going to see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then I'm going to change the way I do it. I'm not going to keep trying doing the same method that doesn't work. I understand I have to be experimental, and I have to be willing to be experimental. We have to be willing to fluctuate. I have to be movable. I have to be malleable. I have to be flexible. And I have to be willing to look at it and say, okay, I tried that. That didn't work. That means I have to try something else. Okay, that means I have to change the way I believe about this so that I can do something different. And you're going to get through it based on that. Your belief system and the ability to be flexible in your beliefs. Okay, so that wraps this up. If you need any more information, you know where we're at. Click down below and comment, and we will hook you up. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.